What's up everybody, Joe here from Mainline Overland. Today we got John Patton back in the shop with his big, very yellow, bright, big Sprinter van.
Aggressively yellow.
Yeah, so last time you saw this, all we had done on this van was the CA Tune front bumper here. We also did the winch install. But we've actually been working.
Been a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a while. But we've been busy. Pretty much we've had an install almost every week.
We haven't stopped.
Yeah.
Like, you guys haven't, seen everything, but we have not stopped putting stuff on this van. It's pretty exciting. Why don't we just bring you up to speed with all of this stuff and let you know where we're at.
To recap the first video of this build series, we installed the CA Tune front bumper here on the Sprinter van. We got some nice color matched yellow shackles, which I think tied in really well. We also installed a Warn VR12 winch up here. This is one of our favorite bumpers for the Sprinter vans. Gives you nice recovery points. Gives you a hitch mount up here, so if you want to carry a bike rack or do recoveries out of the front, that gives you the option.
The other thing that makes this bumper pretty cool is there is ample room to mount lights.
Yeah.
And I think we've almost maximized it. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, maybe we could get maybe one here, maybe one there.
Put a little dinky one in there?
Yeah, but I think we've pretty much maxed it out.
We'll have to see. These are from a company that not many people in the US have seen called Strands, and this is part of their Dark Night lineup. Now, we've got some more up top that we're going to tell you about, but these Dark Night lights, I mean, this whole front end is ridiculously bright, super functional, and it has these really cool amber indicators in them, as well as in the ditch lights. This right here, that's a ditch light. It's part of the Strands Siberia Red Fox side shooter lineup, and this thing is really cool because it has not only the amber indicators, it also has red, and it has a flasher in there, and combined with the ones that we have out back, which are the exact same light, we're going to have a lot of different ways to set this up.
So after we got the front end bumper, lights, winch kind of all set in there and wired, it was time to move on to the roof rack install of this build.
Yeah.
I know we kind of spent a lot of time looking at a bunch of different options out there.
I think we looked at just about every option out there. Yeah.
And for your needs, I think this tanner rack that we went with kind of fit all of our needs. What would you call it, like semi-custom?
Yeah, semi-custom, because they allowed us to get a little deck over the AC, a little deck over the fan, and they were cool enough to work with us to put more lights up front than they normally do. They normally do 5 LP9s, and we did 6 9-inch lights up front. Yeah,
so we were super impressed with the build quality of this rack. It was pretty easy to install. Another thing they built in was a Fiamma awning mount. So we talked to them, figured out what the biggest awning we could get up there is, because this is a big van. So we wanted a lot of shade up there. And that awning mount brackets kind of tie in super nice, give a super clean look.
Right, and then it's got the mounts out back for the lights. I mean, when it comes to racks, this seems to be the most complete system that I've seen.
Yeah, and I was super impressed with all of kind of the structural support up there. I would have no concerns kind of walking around, getting a few people up there and walking around on it. It seems like bomb-proof.
It's built to be used.
Yeah, totally.
That's absolutely true. And as I mentioned when we were talking about the lights in the front, we've got 2 more Red Fox side shooter lights up top here, and the idea with these is not only to cast white light back here, sure, that's pretty obvious, but we also want to have the functions of the ambers, the indicator lights, and the flashers. If you're on a dusty road, if the weather sucks, you want people to see you. Maybe I'm pulled over on the side of the road. You want people to see you. So having that feature is really, really cool. Now, this is another thing from Tannerak. You'll notice we've got this beautiful ladder here from top to bottom on the van. What's a ladder for? Like, why do people have these?
To get up on the roof.
Oh, yeah, very
You're
simple.
gonna get up on the roof,
yeah, exactly. So the cool thing is it's got these little traction sort of dimples here. I don't really know what to call them.
They're like dimple dyed, I would say.
Yeah, it's like punched out to give you added traction, so when you're climbing up, you got maybe damp shoes or something, you're not going to fall off, because this rig is quite tall.
Yeah, definitely.
Quite tall. So this is another thing that's really, really well built. We got it with the roof rack. Really excited to be working with Tannerak on that.
So now we've gone over all the exterior upgrades on this van. Let's take a look inside and show you how we wired up all of these lights. These Strands lightings are pretty complicated to wire, so we need to use a nice sPod system to kind of get full control over it. So let's take a look.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we are basically kind of in the middle of all the wiring for this build. We got all of the front lights wired, but John came back today to get the roof lights all wired in. We're using the sPod system here, their 8-circuit system. We pretty much filled up the whole sPod system with the front lights, so we're going to be adding another sPod controller under the seat here, and that's what we really like about the sPod system is you can actually link kind of the solid state controllers to one screen.
There are 8 lights on the roof.
Oh yeah, for the 2 out back.
And 4 on the bumper, and then the 2 ditch lights.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So you're able to control all those lights with all those functions just off the one screen, which is why we really like the sPod. John really wasn't satisfied with kind of the standard sPod mounting solutions out there. So we actually were able to make some room in this, I'll call it little like coin pouch. We had to tear the whole dash apart, but we have a ram arm that goes through the dash and gets mounted into the back. And then we have this super clean, easy to reach sPod mounting spot right here. It's like literally right off the steering wheel. It's easy to see, easy to reach, and I think it's one of the best solutions out there.
What are you looking at, John?
I am looking at my brand new MaxxAir Fan. Now, I believe this is a 7500 series.
Yep.
What's cool about this is it's got a smoke lid, and that actually allows some light through. It's not just clear, doesn't let all the light through, but it allows a little bit of light through. The fan is actually clear, the fan propellers itself, and that is sort of dual function. So it lets a little bit of light in, and it gives me ventilation in the van, which is super important to, you know, cutting down on moisture inside, no mold or nasty issues or rust. It cuts down on all of that. And we've also got something in the back that you guys need to see. Now, what you'll notice with this super thick wire is that means this thing pulls a lot of juice. This right here is the Nomadic X3. This is a newer to the market rooftop AC, and one of the things that I like, and Joe really likes about this, I promise, Joe, see, he's smiling, he likes it.
I already like it already.
What he likes about this is that it's low profile and aerodynamic, and I think that's something that a lot of factory RVs come with these chunky, huge AC units. We don't want to do that. We want to keep it efficient and low profile. Not only that, but we've got the deck over the top of it. I mean, this is exactly how I think a van should be put together, right?
Yeah, when you're standing on the outside, you can't even tell that there's an AC unit up there.
Right.
I'd say 90% of other vans, you see that big black box on the top, you're like, that is AC. Where this one, you really have no idea, which I think is awesome.
And it kicks out just as much cool air, if not more, and in a more compact setup. I think that's great.
I also really like that this is running off a 12 volt, so you can basically wire it right to the lithium. We don't have to worry about running it through an inverter, making sure we have the right size inverter. I think just the whole process of running this off 12 volt is a lot easier. So guys are going to keep working on this today. Thank you for being a model here today, John. So they're going to work hard on this to get all the wiring wrapped up, and you're actually going to be back next week for another round of upgrades. We've actually been for 2 days.
We have a lot of stuff left to do.
Yeah, we do have a lot.
As you guys could see, the inside is still empty. We have a long road ahead of us and lots of cool stuff to share.
Yeah, and just off to your right side, there's actually something that we're really excited to install. I don't know if we want to show it yet or not, but it starts with a K.
Starts with a K and ends in ing suspension. No, we worked with Shadow Mark Industries, and we're going to be showing off the new big brakes from Rotora. They're 6-piston brakes all the way around on this thing. It's a lot.
It's going to be killer.
It's going to be so freaking cool. And this will be at Overland Expo East.
Yeah, correct. So this John's van is going to be in our booth at Overland Expo East. So if you want to come meet him, talk to the MLO crew, talk to us about getting a van build started, the whole crew will be there. So please stop by our booth. We'd love to meet you. Say hi. And
I would also love to meet you.
Yeah.
I would really like to. We can be friends, maybe. High fives, maybe, if you want. Maybe.
No pressure though.
Yeah, no pressure. It's not weird. Don't make it weird.